This is a great card trick that can be done for a single person or a group of people. You can even use it as a gambling demonstration. So let me show you how it looks. You'll start dealing out 5 piles, and if you have 5 spectators, you're going to ask each one of them to represent one of the piles, and they'll tell you when to stop whenever they want. If it's one person, they could just point to any of these cards and say stop whenever they want. So you'll be dealing, and they'll say stop. Let's say they said stop right there for the queen. So we'll put the queen there to mark it. We'll continue dealing the rest of the piles until they say stop. So let's say they said stop now on this one. So that there. You're going to keep dealing these piles. You'll deal as long as they want you to deal. Obviously, until you run out of cards. So let's say they said stop there. Place this one. You'll deal back and forth. Again, let's say they said stop here. You deal as many cards as long as you don't run out. And they say stop, and you put this here. You get rid of the rest of the cards. So you've stopped exactly where they told you to stop, making 5 random piles. What we're going to do now is stack the piles up, and then we'll let the spectator cut the deck anywhere they want. So let's say they cut. Let's try not to cut to one of the face-up cards. So if they do, you'll just ask them to find a different spot and cut like that. Now they've cut the cards. They've put the cards into random order, and there's no way you could know exactly where they stopped. We will pull these cards out with the card after them. So we've got the Jack, we've got the 10, we've got the Ace, we have the King, and we have the Queen. So let's see how we did now. Next to the Queen, we have the other black Queen. Next to the King, the other black King. Next to the Ace, the other black Ace. Next to the 10, the other black 10, and the other black Jack. The setup for this trick is that you take the 10 through Ace of spades, but you shift them over one card as compared to the other clubs. So we have the Ace here, so I have the King down here. The King, I have the Queen. For the Queen, I have the Jack. For the Jack, I have the 10. And then for the 10, I have the Ace. I just started over. You'll take the spades and stack them up and put them right on top of the deck, and you're ready to do the trick. Now, depending on the situation you're in, you could do one of these false cuts or a fake shuffle, or you could just jump right into the trick. The trick feels random enough that you probably don't even need that false shuffle. And what you'll do is start dealing the cards as you're explaining what's going to happen. That's important because you have to get the first 5 cards out in order to get the trick to work. We'll start explaining like this. I'm going to make 5 piles of cards, and in the second, I'm going to ask you to tell me when to stop. As you can see, I've already gotten 7 cards out before I even finished my first sentence. Now I'll continue dealing, and I really can stop whenever they say to stop, because the bottom card of every pile is the one that matches the next card in the opposite pile. Whenever they say to stop, you'll just take the pile across from the one you're dealing into, and you'll mark it, and then deal onto the other piles. It doesn't matter how many cards you deal. Let's say they stop there. Doesn't matter. Let's say they stop there. When you're done marking all 5 piles, put the rest of the deck aside, and then take these piles and stack them. I'm going to stack these piles from my left to right. And by doing that, I'm essentially just matching the cards up because the King is on the bottom of this one. So when I put them in a pile, I'm putting the 2 Kings together. Now the Queen's on the bottom of this one. So the Queens are together. And the Jack is there, and the 10 is there. And the Ace is on the bottom, the other Ace is on the top. So all I need to do now is cut the deck once, and those 2 aces will be together. If they should cut and get to one of the face-up cards, like I did in the demonstration by accident, you could let that happen and then ask them to cut again. What you don't want to do is spread the cards out like that, because it becomes kind of obvious that the top and bottom card are the Jacks, and they'll kind of figure out the trick. So what I would do is just say, okay, cut again, because I don't want a face-up card on top. They cut like that, let's say. And now all you have to do is spread the cards out and separate each of the face-up cards with the card to the right of that card, and every single one of them is going to match perfectly.